Hi everyone, thank you for watching this video. As some of you probably know, we have moved to a new house and we have a lot of yard work to do. It's a lot. So today I'm going to give you a tour of the backyard and kind of talk about what our plans are for this year. And then if you guys have any questions, just let me know in the comments and we can talk about it. Alright, so let's go. So I'm going to start right here with this flower bed. Don't mind all the kids' toys. We are going to clean up this playhouse and then set it up somewhere. I'm not quite sure. But this actually backs to our screen-in porch. And these right here are hanging baskets. I brought those. I had those at the old house hanging up and I just brought them with me. But this flower bed right here is full of weeds and hostas, and I'm not sure what the long leaves are. I'm not sure what those are. It might be some kind of lily, not quite sure. But we've got lots and lots of weeds. This bush here, I've already started hacking at it. It was kind of vining up and growing up this side here. One of my goals is I don't want anything that's vining on the house. I want to keep those things back. They can be very, very intrusive. So I'll just show you this side here. It's just full of weeds. Hostas and weeds. This is the hosta house. There are hostas everywhere. And some bugs. Ooh. So that's as far as I'm going to take you to the front. The front yard is its own huge, ginormous issue. But here's what it looks like when you walk towards our backyard. Honey, go this way. Go back in the yard. Okay, so we've got two big trees here. Actually, three big trees. And they all need a little trimming. There's some power cords that come through the yard, and I'm going to see if I can get the city to come and cut those back. I don't think we're allowed to cut them ourselves. So here is over to the left if you're looking to our backyard. It looks like they had some sort of like a rock retaining wall that way. I'm not quite sure if we want to keep it or not, but I do know that we're going to clean this area out really good, rake it, kind of clean out the leftover rocks. There's a lot of, I think they had or really liked rock gardens. I'm not sure if those are popular anymore, but I know I'm not interested. I'm not very interested in rock gardens. So there's just a lot of overgrowth here that needs to be cut back. Lots of beautiful trees though. We've got these purple trees here. I'm not exactly sure what they are, but they're very, very pretty. And Ellie's showing you the little rock path. And they kind of continue up here. And then they have these. I'm not sure what the thought process with the bricks here, because they're completely different. But we've got some trees backing up to the fence. We plan to put in a new fence. This fence is really, really old. It's fallen apart in some areas. These little bushes here, these three, I'm not sure if I want to keep those yet. I don't feel like they quite go, and if you know you have this canopy of this purple tree and then these three bushes get huge, you know, they can get really, really tall. They're going to kind of butt heads, which I don't want. More hosta. I haven't set this area up at all. we kind of just, this is probably, well, we haven't even been here 2 weeks, so we've been working on the inside, get everything ready. But this pot, this big pot here came from the old house, and I had planted some sunflowers and elephant ears and a couple cannas. I just kind of did a mishmash of stuff just because I just wanted some flour and some other colors going on there. But I love sunflowers, so I had seeds just laying around. So at some point we want to redo the patio out there, and kind of maybe even if it's like pour new concrete there, or just make it, you know, kind of seamless or fit in. Everything just is kind of a mishmash, which, you know, I don't have a problem with for a few years until we actually figure out what we really want to do with it. But the opportunity is there, the space is there, which we're so happy about. Here is, you guys probably saw this guy here, my caladium or caladium, however you say it. I actually had to put him outside instead of keeping him inside like I originally planned, because he had a spider egg sac that hatched in my house. So he got put out, and all the spiders are gone now, of course, but it was just too much for me to deal with. But he's constantly putting out new shoots. He's happy. Alright, so let's head down this here. We have our little table here that needs to get put in the garage, but we have more of those paver stones this way, which I kind of just want to do a concrete slab like here and just continue it up there, but I want to do more research on what's available. So we have this area right here, this bed, and I'm kind of thinking I want to do a small hedge of some sort, at least like towards the back middle, and then do some color in the front, do some kind of flowers, maybe some perennials that come back year after year and flower. No hostas. There's already enough hostas in this in this yard and in the front yard. You guys haven't even seen that yet, and it's full. So right here in this area, it looks like they were having some sort of rock garden here, and it goes all the way up to that border right there. I actually do not like this, so what we're probably going to do is pull out all the rock, add some dirt, seed it, and get some grass going there. I'm not super sure. I also kind of, if I did a hedge on this side, I kind of want a hedge to go and match this side, but I'm not 100% sure. So right here, there's a lot of weeds, but there's also some bushes here. You can't really tell what from what, but we're gonna de-weed this area over here and see exactly what these bushes look like, and then I'll decide from there if I want to keep them or not. But here's, this kind of goes up a little hill, and then you've got some trees. I don't know if, you know, they planted those, or if those are just, you know, seedlings that dropped and they just, you know, said we'll just keep them. But let's walk up here. And our fence right here goes straight to the street, so it's pretty loud. When you're in the house, it's not very loud at all. But on the other side of the fence, there's a hedge over there, and it's gorgeous. It just needs to be trimmed up. But it goes all down this strip here on the side of our house, on the other side of the fence, that hedge, and it's gorgeous. They've got a lot of ferns in the yard too. I'm not sure the variety, but I think it's cool. I love them. They make it look a lot more tropical. However, I would actually move these and put them in the very back along the wall. That way they're more stuck out. They stand out against the red, and then they're not laying down in the grass here. So more weeds to pull. Looks like something was vining up there, and I think it's coming back actually. Yeah, so we're gonna have to pull all of that out. All of this is gonna get pulled out. More hostas, and these ferns will probably get pulled out and replanted. After we weed everything, I'll probably replant in the fall and move things around. That bird is really upset. Don't know why. So they do have this wood border here, which my husband likes, but I don't really like it. I kind of want to update it. It's been water soaked, you know. I'm sure it's at least 10 plus years old, so it's kind of falling apart. I kind of want to do something a little more modern down the road. Right now, this first year, we can't really do a ton. We don't really have a budget for gardening, but what we can do is pull out weeds, you know, and take out the things that we don't want. And this bush here, I was going to take it out, but my husband talked me into keeping it, so I'm just going to trim it down a lot because it's kind of big and overpowering, and it's very heavy on this side with this tree canopy. And speaking of this tree again, it actually has a fungus, and I can't remember, it's like a black mold fungus or something like that, but it actually looks like there's poop in the trees, and it's all over the tree. It goes clear up to the top. So I'm thinking, you know, we might have to cut it down. I don't want to because I really love it and I love the canopy it provides, you know, over this walk area. You can see how it canopies over the sidewalk and provides all that, you know, shade. But what I read about it is that when it rains, those spores open up and go into the air, and it can infect other trees. So I don't know how, and some of these trees over here are kind of similar to this one, so you know, I would hate for these others to get infected, and then, you know, all the trees have to come out at that point. But here goes this side. So if I did the hedge, I would take it from there down to here. I'm not sure what I would put back here. I'm thinking of just, you know, kind of having this as a grassy area. I definitely know that I want to pull out these two trees that face on the back of the house. I do not want any trees of any sort right next to the house. The branch here on this tree, we're gonna cut the one that leans against the house down. We've got a lot of ivy, a lot of trees and limbs that touch the house, and I kind of want to get away from that. So this back area, before I show you the other side, I don't know what they did here or when. This house hasn't been lived in for almost a year. So whoever lived here at whatever point, I think they did like their rock garden back here because there's nothing but rocks and weeds. So I'm thinking like this whole area was rock, and then, you know, going unkempt, weeds just grew and took over. So here's the view of the other part of the yard. Ivy all over the fences, probably a lot of poison ivy too. And then that's the back of the house. So yeah, so that part of the fence, you know, it's kind of broken, falling down. And that's why we want to get someone out here to give us a quote for a new fence. I was wanting to do like a black metal fence, but I think with, you know, us being on a corner and the traffic, it, you know, it might, you know, allow more noise to come in. But if you look, there's 2 trees here. So there's, I know it's hard to see because everything is green, but there's one that's here, and then there's one that's here. I'd like to keep those 2 trees and just clean them up a bunch, but then all the ivy that needs to get dug up. There's some hostas back here, all kinds of weeds. This whole yard is full of weeds. And if you guys have any suggestions with, you know, this type of situation with the ground being all rock and no grass, I'd be happy to read your comments below. So just check all this out. I mean, it's very peaceful back here besides that bird that won't be quiet. And this is the garage here, if I didn't mention that before. But we've got hostas back there, more ferns, and we got a big tree here, which is really cool. He'll have to get cut back from the garage, just some, not a ton. I'd like to keep as many trees as possible, but if anything's hitting the house, it has to go. And I'm not quite sure what this plant is right here, but I'm gonna let him bloom first because he looks like he's getting ready to bloom. So I want to see what that looks like, but I don't particularly care for whatever he's got going on there. So here's behind this little fenced area. I'm guessing one of the owners had a dog or something is why they fenced this in, because it doesn't really make a whole bunch of sense to me. But yeah. So here's the yard, that area there. And this is just heading back towards the back door. Got lots of kids' toys everywhere. So this area right here along that red garage wall is what I'm most excited about. I think there's just a lot of space to do stuff with. So I do want to move those ferns back against that wall. I think they'll be very striking when they come up and they're you know, striking against that red background, and then we can kind of layer in some other, you know, flowering smaller items, smaller plants up there. So we'll see. There's a lot out here that can be done. This first year, I think we're going to focus on getting out the stuff that we don't want, and like weeding and maintaining the trees, and then next year craft a plan to kind of add some, you know, landscaping design and flair to the yard. And this spot right here actually might be good for a fountain, like a pond with a fountain in it. That also might block out some of the noise from the street that you hear. But yeah, this is one of the reasons why we fell in love with this house, is all the trees. It's just beautiful. Alright guys, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments if you have any suggestions for what to do with that side yard with the rocks and then all the weeds. I think it's going to be a really big project to pull all that out and then remove all the rock and then basically start fresh, because we would probably want to add some new soil and then seed. I think for that area though, we kind of just want it to just be a grass area. Definitely we'll maintain the trees. Might even plant some more trees, some things that flower. Maybe plant some more fall color type of things over there. But just let me know what your ideas are. I know there's a lot of people who love to garden out here, so just let me know. We're kind of we're not new to, you know, having a yard and taking care of it, but we are kind of, I guess in a way, new to different types of plants and, you know, what kind of light they need. I definitely want to add some peonies around the yard, and I know that they need direct sun, so I'm kind of watching throughout the day to see which areas get a lot of sun and which areas don't. But anyway, so thank you for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, and I'll see you guys when I do the front yard. See ya.